clean sweep for the Phoenix Suns. A task made easier after we saw the league MVP get tossed, getting slapped with a flagrant 2 after taking a wild swipe at Suns guard Cameron Payne. Players around the league stunned following the Joker's ejection. Trae Young chiming in saying, a flagrant 2? Wow. And Morant, he just said 2 words, but they spoke very loudly. He said, league soft. Okay, Freddie, what do you say? Is the league soft?
The NBA is not soft. The NBA is what the NBA is. And the reason that people will use that word soft is because they're so used to what happened when they grew up watching basketball in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. The NBA has made sure they're going to legislate, and they have legislated, slug it out, clutch and grab basketball. So anything that goes beyond that pale, because the referees have been instructed to make sure the game does not get out of hand. Now, let's be honest, ladies. Players don't want to fight. There's way too much money. If a dude wants to fight, that means he's more of a G League player than the NBA player. He's not going to be around long. But in this situation, other than the referees, I thought they allowed the rules of engagement in the NBA to override the decision-making. When did sense be taken out of the equation? They have Nikola Jokic, making a play in the basketball, and yes, it was a play that was beyond the pale. But a flagrant 2, to me, at worst, it should have been a technical foul. You shoot 2 free throws, boom, let's play basketball. But the league is not too soft because the NBA has made it a point to say, we're going to allow players to be basketball players. You shouldn't have to go to a weight room and be a better basketball player or be a better defender. But I honestly thought that the rules of the NBA, because people say it's soft, because what they saw last night, they say, well, back in the day, back when we were just roaming the earth as old people playing basketball, and we didn't want these kind of things to happen. All of a sudden now, this is not part of the NBA, and people thinking we liked it better. Did you really like it better when games were 70-69, 80-79, and shooting percentages no more than 40%? Give me this. I thought the referees are overzealous with the call, but I will say this. The NBA is not soft. The NBA is what it is, and I don't mind the NBA being this kind of NBA in this day and age.
It is particularly interesting, Freddie and Charlie, that Trae Young and Morant, who I love, shout out to Memphis, who showed love after I picked the Memphis Grizzlies to beat the Golden State Warriors.
You were the only one.
You know, I'm here. Like, I'm here.
We here. We here.
It's interesting that these 2 guys chimed in on this, right? They are 2 slight point guards, right? They're not big guys. Ja goes to the rim with reckless abandon and could care less who was waiting for him on the other side. And of course, Trae is one that draws the commentary, that's not a foul or that's not basketball, very often because of his ability to hunt for fouls and opportunities to get to the free throw line. So it's interesting hearing this from them. I do agree with you, Freddie, in that I take a little bit of issue with the word soft. The game obviously now has been catered to the offensive players, and we love high-scoring affairs. In this moment, it felt to me that Nikola Jokic was being treated as a player who has a reputation of dirty plays. Now, technically, because my folks on Twitter was all at me last night, the definition of a flagrant 2, as I may read really quickly, unnecessary and excessive contact committed by a player against an opponent, right?
Right.
It was a basketball play.
Right.
Yes, he was frustrated. There was a little bit of a wind-up, but it was a basketball play. Nikola Jokic is trying to slap the ball away from Cam Payne. I also think that we have to be mindful of looking at things in slow motion, right? Because if my face turned right now, Freddie, and I gave you a mean side eye, like in slow motion.
You don't want that.
Listen, it's going to look way more intense than in real time. And so I think while technology is designed for us to get the best look possible, I agree with you that we've taken a little bit of judgment out of the game. And I'm the daughter of a referee, right? I do think that it is unfortunate that in this moment you're talking about your MVP, an elimination game. It was It was 85-73. It was an 8-point ball game at that point. I got the score wrong, but it was an 8-point ball game. It is unfortunate to me that the stripes have become a part of the conversation about what should have been maybe the Nuggets' opportunity to avoid getting swept. So I don't know that I would agree with the league is soft, but I do think that call lacked a little bit of tact and reading the room in terms of the moment.
Yeah, use your head if you're an NBA referee, because we know this, and we can say this out loud. If Cam Payne had done that to Nikola Jokic, he's not being thrown out of this game. This is a case of a bigger man against a smaller player, and they saw that. It reminded me so much of Shaquille O'Neal when somebody said, well, Shaquille O'Neal can take getting fouled. I'm thinking, well, a foul's a foul. I don't care if you're 8'2" or 2'8". A foul is still a foul. Just because he's a big man doesn't mean he should have to endure more punishment from smaller people beating up on him. I thought this was a reverse situation. If Nikola Jokic was the same size as Cam Payne, let's say he was Devin Booker, There's no way that Devin Booker's thrown out of this game. And to be fully honest, even if Nikola Jokic stays in the game, they're still getting swept because Phoenix was that good in the fourth quarter. At one point, Chris Paul made 9 straight shots.
Yeah.
They ran the same play. They ran what I call the DOI offense, ladies, definition of insanity. They ran the same thing over and over again, and Denver says, well, it worked the first 7 times. It won't work number 8. Well, it worked the first 8 times. It won't work number 9. So they wouldn't have won this series or not avoided being swept, even Nikola Jokic is on the floor. But I thought he was the punishment because he was a bigger guy. Cameron Payne is not a bigger guy. And I thought they took that rule too literally to the point it should have just been a flagrant 1, technical foul, 2 free throws, and let's play basketball.
Yeah.
Well, if you were on Twitter, you saw what Stephen A. had to say about this call by the refs. He was not about it. Now, the Joker is only the second MVP to be ejected from a postseason game. Steph Curry was the first back in the 2016 NBA Finals. You remember he took his mouthpiece out, threw it into the stands. It hit a fan. So this is only the second player in 25 seasons, by the way, to have that happen.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.